Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha. Let's give our praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahusha, Ba'ashem, Rekar Kadash, the ones to the apostles, great millstones. So I say, all you Akims and you Aquas pushing the truth. It's Yahweh Kanan coming in, Yahweh Kanan coming in. And we're going to go right off on Esau is being exposed, and his own people had enough exposing them. Then you got the age provocatorians where they imploding from the inside out. So we're going to let this play, but this Trump get publicly warned by a U.S. intelligence officer. Ain't nothing but a white devil doing her job. So let's go to it. Let me play a little bit of her so y'all can get a little inkling of who she is. Then we'll go right into what she doing.
Want you to watch her incredible speech. Let's play it.
My name's Josephine Gilbo. I'm a former intelligence officer. I spent 17 years in the U.S. Army. I've held assignments as an intelligence officer at the DIA, the ODNI, NSA, and DHS. And of course, as an intelligence officer in the Army. I've held a top secret clearance with a polygraph, just to give you an idea of my access and experience when it comes to these assignments. Terrorism officer in the United States. Or property to induce fear, use of violence, or as we use it here in the United States. And I want to give you the definition of terrorism as we use it here in the United States. And I want to give you the definition of terrorism as we use it here in the United States. Terrorism is the premeditated use of violence or threat of violence against civilians or property to induce fear, coercion, or intimidation aimed at government or societies to achieve political, religious, or ideological objectives. Given this information, we're going to focus back now to the bombing of Manab. 165 little girls were killed by United States Tomahawks from a United States vessel in the area of operation. A modern Tomahawk missile is equipped with onboard cameras, real-time targeting imagery. Satellite imagery is constantly collected by several intelligence agencies, several countries, in real time. Let's talk about what that satellite imagery would show of the Manab Little Girls School. Murals. The entire school was surrounded by colorful children painting, flower, bright color murals surrounded this school. And it was, without a doubt, a school if you looked at it through satellite imagery. It was, without a doubt, a school when you looked at it through the onboard camera of the Tomahawk missile. It was clear. Now let's talk about when the attack started on Iran. 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., Israel, along with the United States, began attacking Iran. By 10:20, the staff at Minab School began evacuating the children. Strike one. Hit the school. The kids moved to the prayer room. Strike two. Hit the prayer room. 163 kids dead. Strike 3 hit nearby.
You can see the Edomite was getting very passionate about what's going on, and show you the power and the reach that Esau have over all the other nations. And he was given that power by Isaac, which is Yahweh. If you know, you know. And no, I ain't finna show you that, because you got to be in this for me to show you that. Yes, ma'am? If you part of the elect, you're going to get it anyway. So let's get that, how he able to do all those things. This Genesis 27, I'm going to start at 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O thou father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and has taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thou Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said to his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, right? And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So he got the whole world and the best parts of it. And of the dew of heaven from above. And see, that dew from a heaven from above, that's how he able to have all these satellite imagery. And he able to exalt himself as the eagle and put himself up in that stratosphere, because that's the power that he was given. That's why he can look through his satellite imagery and look down on the Persians, the Edomites, and say, okay, take that out, take that out, take this out. So they know exactly what they're doing, and they was given that power from God. It said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, the dwellings shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And that's why he around here striking them kids with no fear. And the kids he struck, that private school in Iran for all girls, that was the military guys kids school. A lot of the generals and captains and stuff, them was they kids that they killed. So like she said, terrorism is to afflict pain and cause trauma. It said, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off his neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The day of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau is touching thee, thou comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. See that? So we giving a heads up to watch out from Esau, our brother. And to this day, that's why Esau got that deep hatred for Jacob, which is who? The blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. So let's keep going. So let's get that Isaiah 55 and 11. Because see, the word of Yahweh Shah gonna come to pass. And we know this is the battle of Jehoshaphat, the building up of the nations over in the Middle East. We understand that this is what this is. This isn't just man fighting and greed and, the normal things that you would like propose. That ain't what's going on. Okay, I gotta get this back together. I think I can clip this now. Salakia. I got a page on my book that I can fix. I think I better fix Salakia. I'm gonna take that. I got that. Y'all give me a second. Alright, Salakia on that. But I need to get this while I got it. There you go. Alright, so where we at? Isaiah 55 and 11. Let's go. This Isaiah 55 and 11. I'm going to let her play some more at the end. Isaiah 55 and let's start at 8. For my thoughts. No. Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. And see, he near through who? The prophets. It's a, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Pardon what? Your sins. So that's why you got to come into the counsel of Yahushua and learn about your ancestors and repent. Because Acts 4 and 12 says only one name among men where we must be saved, and that's Yahushua. So you have to submit yourself to Yahushua, keep the law, statutes, commandments, work out thy salvation with fear and trembling, and rehearse the righteous acts. And that's what we're dealing with right now. So you got to forsake your ways, which is the American lifestyle, and Yahushua will pardon you. Because that's what else it say. It say 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. That's why we come into the counsel of Yahushua and find out what time we living in and what's the will of the Lord. That's how we know what's going on in this world. Because if we linked on how we feel, we being told these are cycles. There's always been wars. Things get better later. And we moving into a new world order. Well, this new world order don't consist of the blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. Because they got something called Georgia Guidestones, where they say it's 7 billion people. They want 6.5 billion gone. They only want 500 million. That's going to consist of the servants that's going to serve them. So out of that 500 million, out of all the nations, that's why the elites over the world, the 1%, the shadow government, is purging the world and bringing a order, which means they got to get rid of a lot of these useless eaters. That's why wars is taking off. But let's keep going. It say, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain come down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth the buds, that they may give seed to the sowers and bread to the eaters, because it's a consistent cycle. See, people have to die, wars have to happen. The elites have to fulfill their agenda. Why? Because Yahweh's word gonna stand strong. That's why. It said, so shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall purpose in the things wherein I sent it. So that's what's happening, and that's what you're witnessing. So you're witnessing the purge and the battle of Jehoshaphat, which is the Third World War, which happening right now in front of y'all eyes. And y'all religious leaders who's supposed to be informing y'all on this ain't saying anything. Because if the people honestly knew that this is the Third World War and the build up to it, then they'll start taking this conversation more serious. But the elites and they leaders who've been paid off, you know what I'm saying, got it where the people don't understand. Hold on. God damn it. I'm still doing this shit. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get that. Because this who they is. Oh, I was right there. This who your leaders are. This why but the scriptures speak about your leaders. So they in trouble. This Isaiah 56:10. His watchmen are blind, they are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs that cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. And that's why Esau give your leaders a gift, which is what? Money, 401k, tax exempt, and just actually money. That's why you got mega churches where the leaders are worth what? $100 million, like Creep Low Dollar. What's the other fat nigga name? Have you ever been swallowed? We been saying him. TD Fake, TD Jake. That's why these things are established the way they are, and these foul things come out about these men. Because they what? They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Parties. That's all they entertaining their people with. Entertainment. It said, yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. That's why they got all the brand new cars, the jewelry, all the clothes, everything. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. See that? Understand what? The prophecies of Yahweh Shah. Because that's what time we living in. Prophecies. They all look to their own way. Everyone for his gain from his quarter. Right. So wherever they at, whatever they got going on, they only looking to gain and to get what they need for them. See that? They not caring about the sheep. It said, come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundantly. See, so they basically saying we're going to be here forever. That's their whole stance and agenda of this thing. And they not telling nothing about no prophecy, nothing about the return of the Lord. They not saying nothing about the end times, any of those things. They don't have nothing to say about anything. And they acting like they don't know shit. But you're going to find out these motherfuckers being paid to act like that and to be like that. That's why the 501c3 chart and all that shit is what it is. But we going to explain it to y'all. See that? So let's go and get it. Joel 2:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares and swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And you seeing that. You see Iran. That's why America is which is Babylon the Great, is lashing out like a woman with nothing to lose. Because she was the lady queendom of heaven with all the delicacies. It say, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathens, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thou mighty ones to come down, O Lord, them the angels. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathens round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full, the fat overflow, and their wickedness is great. So America did all what it's supposed to do with the abomination in the cup, which made the whole world to drink of the abomination. And what it say? The nations are mad. So that's why you see and why the nations are mad. You got an intelligence agency, Edomite, explaining the full scope of what the United States of America have access to, the knowledge they have, and they deliberately know what they're doing. Not only do they see these through a satellite, and that was the blessing he was given in Genesis, for him to be able to do those things, to watch over you as the eagle, know that that's a school, then still send a tomahawk. First strike, hit the school. The young girls ran from there into the prayer room. See that? And when they went to the prayer room, the second strike, even though it got cameras on these tomahawks, so it knew what the kids was at. So when the first one hit, and they seen that the kids get ushered into that other room, and they got all isolated in one area, they sent that second strike. And what did it do? Killed 100 and something. And then what happened? They signed that third strike. And that was it. So they know what they be doing. It said, multitude in the valley of decisions, for the day of the Lord is near, the valley of decision. So that's what time it is. We in the valley of decision. And what's happened? These Edomites are all telling on each other. And that's the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. Because the Akim gave me this article that we just went over with the intelligence agency at work. And he wanted to know, like, man, look how she a white woman. And she telling, I'm like, well, she only, but he kind of even seen through the phoniness. She started crying and shit. And I was like, Con, that's good. Everybody can see that phony ass and shit. But I had to show him, this is why she doing that. Whether she paid to do it, but they going to implode it from the inside out. And everybody starting to see it. So this is scripture I had to read to the Akim last night for him to get the understanding of what was going on. This Psalm 64, and I'm going to start at 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And that's what they do on this earth. It said, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. It's talking about us. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see us? Right? Them secret meetings and them closed sessions and the stuff that's classified. It said they search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Because remember, they used to be in secrecy. That was their power. It says, so that they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. And that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. So we seeing Esau be exposed. We watching it, and we seeing the Edomites expose their own system because it's wicked. But there ain't no other prophecies of Yahweh Shah, whether they imploding from the inside and she being told to do that, or God is just on her heart and she feels sympathy for them kids. Whichever way Yahweh Shah will, it's gonna be fulfilled. That's why the Isaiah 55 and 11 is happening. And the lady tells you can't fight against this, you can't stop this. The only thing you can do is be honest and tell the truth. And that's exactly what we doing on this side. It's just telling the truth. And with that, shalom, because everybody shall see.